right, good morning everybody. I'm shooting the second video today, and today we're going to discuss about a very dear topic to me. I have very few passions in life, and when I say passions are things that I prioritize, my top 5 priorities in life, as you may put. One of them is being a mom. I normally say my first job is being a mom, and everything else falls under that. That's the top of my pyramid. God put me in this planet Earth to be a mom to 2 beautiful girls, and for that I'm very grateful for. The second thing is one thing I enjoy doing. I've enjoyed doing, I never used to do this 10 years ago, but in the last 10 years, I've really enjoyed physical exercise, because I have found that when I exercise, I have more energy. I am mentally clear. I find happiness. I enjoy life in general. So I'm going to discuss today, how do you find a balance as a busy working mom? Like I discussed in the first video, I am a professional, so I go to work like everybody else. Probably I work more hours in some instances and less for other people, but I do go to work full time. I have 2 young girls that I have to take care of, and where do I find the time to fit in physical exercise? So I'm going to discuss this really from the beginning, when I first started having kids, because I felt like this was a challenge for me and might be a challenge for other mothers out there. So I'll discuss how I some of the constraints as a mom, especially new moms, before you get into a routine and kids go to school, and how to overcome those constraints and how you can fit in time to exercise and take care of yourself. Remember, I normally tell people, you cannot pour from an empty vessel. You as a human being have to fill yourself. You have to take care of yourself to be able to take care of others. So moms, this is really important for you to listen. And again, bear with me. I'm always recording on my drive somewhere. It's a beautiful Saturday morning in Arizona. Sunshine and the weather is beautiful. And I'm going to a meeting. So there. That's a beautiful mom's life right there. Anyways, so let's go back to some of the constraints that you may encounter being a new mom, trying to juggle life, especially physical exercise. You don't have time. There's just not enough time in a 24-hour day to fit in taking care of your kids, working, and taking care of yourself, which is encompassing some type of physical exercise in there. If you have a very busy schedule like mine, there's just, you work. And I used to wake up at 5 in the morning. I get kids ready, or I get food ready for the kids. I get myself ready. I go to work. I don't come home until 5 p.m. When I come home, again, it's time to take care of the kids again, and until about 9, 10 o'clock, and I'm ready to go to sleep. I just don't have time in a 24-hour period to be able to exercise at all. So I had to find ways, because I did exercise prior to having children. I had to make time. I had to figure out, how do I put in time to take care of myself? Some of the things too you will encounter if you haven't had children yet. You might not have support out there, especially for single moms. If you're taking care of the children and you're the only parent, you're talking about 2 to 3 full-time jobs falling just on you. So clearly, if you don't have any support out there, if you have support, you can always leave your child with somebody and run to the gym. But there are other things that you're gonna encounter when you do that. Especially you're starting off as a parent, you're gonna feel really guilty leaving your child for a couple hours to go to the gym. So those are some of the things to kind of keep in mind. So how did I fit in physical exercise when I was having children, when I started having children as a young mom? I can say, let me actually point out why you need to exercise, because I think that is more important than actual exercise. The moment you understand why you need to exercise as a person, that will help you. when you have a child or when you grow older in life, there are a lot of medical issues you're bound to encounter, you're bound to develop just because of purely age and genetic and just being a mother. One of them is diabetes. There's one correlation, strict correlation between weight gain and diabetes. So if you don't manage your weight, there are pretty high chances you're going to get diabetes. With diabetes, you're talking about high blood pressure is going to come in, high cholesterol, heart problems. So there's just a chain of medical problems that can be caused by you not managing your weight. Another big one for especially moms, after you've had a baby, you don't realize how your life changes. You're used to having all this time doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you have no time for anything else other than this child that you just brought to this world. Postpartum depression is a major thing. A lot of moms go through postpartum depression, and it becomes a spiral effect, right? You get this culture shock of having a child in your life, you go through hormonal changes, you go into postpartum depression. And if you see, I work in healthcare, if you see charts for a lot of medical records, you'll see a lot of history of anxiety, depression. And the studies have shown that there's a really direct correlation between postpartum depression and depression later on in life. So bottom line is mental health is really important for you. When you exercise, that is the one thing I found that I was able to really manage a lot of stressors in life. Just by pure exercise, it just gives you mental clarity to deal with issues in life that could have otherwise led into major problems like mental problems. Mental issue is a huge thing in this country, so you just have to really be careful. So, and the big thing too, as a mom, you gain weight during pregnancy, which is really important. Don't ever try to restrict your diet when you're pregnant. That child needs the weight. Gain your weight as you're recommended by your physician. Let the baby grow in you. You're the incubator at that point. It only lasts for 9 months. But you also have to think that later on you have to lose that weight. Otherwise, it's going to be a cumulative effect. You have a child, you gain the weight, and then you get older, and it's harder to lose weight the older you get. So just keep that in mind, that when you exercise, you're bound to manage your weight, lose weight. What they call baby fat, you're able to lose that a lot quicker if you get into some form of physical exercise after delivery. So, having discussed the benefits of physical exercise, now how do you start this exercise program if you never exercised in your life, or if you exercise and now you don't have time to exercise? How do we go about this? I can tell you one thing. When I initially started, I started by getting a jogging stroller. Some of them are expensive, some of them are very inexpensive. Nowadays you have a lot of second-hand places that sell used stuff. So if you don't want to spend a whole ton of money, because out of all of them, I think jogging strollers can be a little pricey. But you can go to Facebook Market, you can go to OfferUp, you can go to other websites where you can look for second-hand strollers. Jogging strollers, make sure it's jogging strollers. They have to have the big wheels so you can be able to run in a park, you can run in a sidewalk. And to me, that was actually important for me, especially when I had my kids back to back, 15 months apart. And at that point, you feel guilty leaving your child to go to the gym. So I was able to put my kids in a jogging stroller and jog around the park a few times. And just with that, I have my children there. They're enjoying the scenery of the park or the neighborhood, and I'm getting my physical exercise in there. So it was fun for us to do that, especially on weekends, on the days off for me. That was a fun thing to do. So invest in buying a jogging stroller. Another really important thing, you need to look into investing into getting into a gym. But when you do that, keep this in mind. Let's go back to jogging strollers. So all exercise equipment is important. And the other things I bought, resistant bands, free weights. I bought a treadmill. Treadmills are a little pricey, so you can take that or leave it. You can always run outside. It's not or jog, walk. You don't necessarily have to run a marathon or a sprint. You can just jog around a little bit and walk around a little bit. So those are the things. But if you're doing it earlier in the morning, for me, I used to exercise very early in the morning at 4 in the morning. So I needed a treadmill to be able to exercise. So invest in home exercise equipment. Get restraining bands, free weights, some elliptical or a treadmill would be beneficial. And then start looking at enrolling into gyms. But when you're enrolling into gyms, I tell people to keep this in mind when you're looking for a gym as a mom. Make sure you're getting a gym that has flexible schedules, meaning they either open very early in the morning and run late. You don't want a gym that opens from 9 to 7 p.m. That is a time when you're busy. You're not going to be able to fit in exercise at that time. With me, my goal was I wanted to exercise at 4 in the morning. I woke up at 4 in the morning. I adjusted my life schedule, woke up at 1 hour before going to work, and I would go to the gym. So I was looking for gyms that was open at 4 in the morning. So keep that in mind. And also when you're looking at those gyms, make sure they have childcare benefits. A lot of gyms don't have this, especially the smaller ones, but if you go to reputable gyms, you'll find that they do offer childcare when you're exercising. This was really important for me, especially on weekends. If I didn't, on a day off and I didn't want to wake up at 4 in the morning to exercise, I can really take my children to the gym with me, put them in their childcare. They're able to socialize with other children in the daycare area, and I'm able to socialize and do my physical exercise at the gym. So it's beneficial for both of us. So keep that in mind when you're looking at gyms. Don't just sign up into any gym out there. Make sure it works for you, to your advantage. So that's very important. Just keep that in mind. Like I said, make sure to adjust your schedule. Waking up that 1 hour prior to going to work or prior to your children waking up and putting in physical exercise is probably the most beneficial thing that I did for myself. Not everybody is a morning person, I get it, but this is how I look at it. There's a time I used to go to work at 8. It was a struggle to wake up at 7. When I went to work at 6, it was a struggle to wake up at 5. So this is just adjusting my mental my mentality a little bit, and I just set my alarm for an hour prior to going to work or getting ready to go to work. And that's just that little adjustment on your time schedule is very beneficial. Then you get the workout out of the way. When you work out early in the morning, that is one thing I found out. I have more energy during the day. I am happier. I have I have better control of my mood because I am not tired, I'm not foggy. I've already exercised, so I feel great about myself. So just keep that in mind. And if you're not a morning person, you're a late person, I don't understand that, but I respect it because I always feel like I'm totally drained during the day. I can't put much into physical exercise at that time. But some people have more energy during the night. And the one thing about exercising before bed too, it's gonna affect your sleep pattern, and you don't want to be lacking sleep. So sleep, exercise, eating well is really important. So if you're really going to bed with endorphins pumped up and you're never able to sleep very well, then you really defeated the whole purpose of rest and taking care of yourself. So just keep that in mind, please. If you're an evening person, just find a gym that opens until midnight, and you can put the kids to bed and go and exercise later on during the day. But just keep that in mind. If you exercise later during the day, there are two things. You do get endorphins, which gives you a lot of energy, which is important to keep going, but not really that important if you're going to bed. Maybe do weights instead of doing cardio if you're working out later during the day. And then another thing, I drink a lot of water when I'm exercising. So if I drink a lot of water and I go to bed, and then I have to wake up every few hours to go to the bathroom, and knowing if you haven't had a child yet, bladder control is an issue. But that's a story for another day. So anyway, just that being said, I'm gonna end this video here. for watching. Moms out there, you can do this. Remember, this is just a very short season. These kids grow up. I look back and it was just a blink of an eye. Mine, like I said, I had my kids back to back. So mine are 7 and 6 now. I send them to school and I go and exercise on my day off. I take them hiking with me. Now I'm able to, take them to places. When I'm exercising during the day, hey, I make them exercise too. They can do a little push-ups, maybe cheating push-ups or whatever. But it's a lot more fun. Remember, this is a season when you have young kids, it's difficult, but try. Even if you exercise 1, 2, 3 days, it's better than not exercising at all. Keep the physical fitness, keep working out, keep taking care of yourself so you can be able to take care of your family and your babies, and also to really help you with your mental health, manage your weight, really important. Have a good day. Just nice talking to you today, and see you in the next